The Christmas season is upon us, and that means a slew of new streaming holiday films. Hulu and Disney Plus have one with Ben Stiller at the helm. Let's talk about Nutcrackers. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my Christmas movie review for Nutcrackers. This is streaming now on Hulu and Disney Plus. They're kind of one and the same these days. But before we launch into the specifics of this movie and my thoughts on it, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. If you're one of my subscribers already, thank you so much for that. Love having you guys return to the channel. But if you're not, please consider subscribing down below. Click that notification bell so you get the alerts for all my video drops. I do try to post something new just about every day. So always a lot to check out here, be it movie or TV related. You could also like this video, comment below, share it on your socials. That stuff, of course, helps the channel out as well. All right, so Ben Stiller plays Mike Maxwell, and he has a high-profile job in Chicago. No time for nonsense, but his sister Janet and her husband pass away, so Mike is sent to rural Ohio in the interim of finding, an adoptive home or what have you, taking care of his 4 nephews. And they live on a farm. They are unruly. They're homeschooled. They have their own definition of fun, which usually comes in the sense of a dangerous activity. But are they also real sweet deep down? Well, maybe, as these stories tend to go. Linda Cardellini plays Gretchen Rice, who is the social worker tasked with finding the kids a home. And Mike sort of goes back and forth to Chicago and Ohio, not really wanting to be part of these kids' lives, but realizing that maybe he's all they have, and does he end up getting attached to them? Well, you can connect, I think, some of those dots. The kids are newcomers as far as I know. Homer Jansen, Ulysses. Oh, they're all siblings in real life. Homer, Ulysses, Atlas, and Arlo Jansen. I didn't realize that until right now. So, all right, that's pretty cool that they're actual siblings or cousins or whatever in real life, come from the same family regardless. So this was directed by David Gordon Green, which I thought was an odd choice when I saw his name come up, because he is most known for some of the recent horror remakes and sequels. He did the recent version of The Exorcist that I liked, but got really, really panned by most. And he also did the Halloween trilogy recently. But other than that, I didn't really know him from too much. Maybe some of his previous stuff, but mostly lately, that's what he's known for, these horror movies. So this is certainly a change in form for him. And I think, unfortunately, that kind of shows in the end product. So this movie doesn't really do anything new or exciting. I mean, it is the same story that we've seen a lot, where this guy has to come in and take care of family members he doesn't want to, whatever. Maybe he ends up growing attached to them, and this, that, and the third. But there's certainly shades of maybe Uncle Buck, where Uncle Buck was a nice dude. He didn't have much going on, but he also wasn't sure he wanted to be there with them until he got there. And, there's a lot of movies like this over the years. And Ben Stiller has played this type of character a lot over the years. In the 90s, it was sort of, they called it the yuppie. Like in Reality Bites, he was like the yuppie character. Here, you just call him sort of the professional businessman, whatever. But, he's got no time for anything but work and his career and all of that. Look, these are stock characters, archetypes, and in fact, we had a Christmas movie already this year with a family of unruly kids in the best Christmas pageant ever. And this plays out sort of along similar lines. I think we get to know these kids a lot better than maybe in that movie, but still there are these unruly kids that have nice hearts underneath that just need to access them, learn how to find that love or whatever. And these kids aren't necessarily cruel per se, but they are little pranksters, I guess, when Mike comes around, because look, they just lost their parents, they're confused. This uncle that they don't even really know at all is coming in to take care of them, and they're like, who's this dude, whatever. So they play little pranks on him, and that goes as you would expect with a movie like this. There's some pratfalls and hijinks and whatever. But really, the issue with this movie, well, there's a few issues. I mean, the blandness and sort of, we've seen this done before many, many times over is one of them, certainly. But just that tone of the movie is a little bizarre because I'm not exactly positive who this movie is specifically aimed at, because it could easily be PG, but there is this like sex education scene that goes a little far in the terminology, and it repeats back. Like, we get references to that scene throughout the rest of the movie, making it PG-13. But to be honest, if you excise those portions, it's a completely like PG family friendly movie, I feel like. But we never quite get there because I think Green wanted to be a little more edgy, and maybe the scriptwriter as well, who I'm unfamiliar with, but his name is Leland Douglas. And so maybe, okay, let's gear this a little bit more towards older kids and families. But I think that was maybe a mistake. I think the lane for this movie would be better served as a PG that the whole family could watch together. Because here's the positive part of this movie. It's actually pretty charming. And Ben Stiller is sort of in his put upon mode, but not fully, like in Meet the Parents and whatever, because I feel like he's, the one in charge. But as we learn, maybe he's not in charge. Maybe the kids are kind of pulling at his heartstrings, and so they're kind of in charge of his own future. I don't know. But I think there's actually an enjoyable quality to this movie, and even though it's sort of a complete tonal shift, the last like 15 or 20 minutes is very touching. So this movie has me thrown a little bit, because there's certainly a lot of things that are very routine about it, but at the same time, look, Ben Stiller is likable in this type of role. It's what he really has made his bread and butter on for the better part of his career. And it's nice to kind of see him back in that sort of zone. And the kids are all good. It's nice to know, as I'm watching this or as I'm doing this video, to realize that they're all siblings in real life. That actually makes a lot of sense because they have great chemistry together, and they all work well together. So this for me is a slight positive. I will leave Nutcrackers with a C+. And if you're so interested, you can check this out now on Hulu, and of course, like I said, Disney Plus as well. So thanks for watching Dan Reviews It, and check out my other Christmas movie reviews for this season on Dan Reviews It. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.